Hello and welcome to the Mystical Junction. I am Tarot Zam, your host and guide, an exciting magical adventure that we're going to take together for the next half an hour or so. Here at the Mystical Junction, I will share with you inspiring and practical lessons from the tarot that would encourage you to think out of the square and help you make better decisions. I will guide some of our kindred spirits via free readings to hopefully help them find answers to their problems so that they can move forward. I will take you to some places here in New Zealand which you can visit when you're in this part of the world that can be a sanctuary or a sacred and mystical space that serves as a bridge in reconnecting and communing with our higher self and the higher power. Our featured guests will be sharing their interesting experiences about extraordinary and more often inexplicable phenomena they've encountered from the different parts of the world. We will also be talking about very important issues regarding our environment, conservation and sustainability, the welfare of our animal friends, and how we can contribute to preserving our one and only beautiful blue planet. So, sit back, relax, and I hope you enjoy the show. For our tarot lessons, we're going to use the Navigators of the Mystic Sea Tarot by Julia Turk. We start with the Two of Pentacles. The Little White Book describes the Two of Pentacles as remaining stuck in old patterns and unproductive ways of behavior is not conducive to personal growth. You need support from partner and friends to work toward a successful outcome in business or creative projects after you have organized your enterprise fully. In addition, the Two of Pentacles signifies progress, bustling activities, and adaptability. The ability to deal and adapt to the polarities in our lives is instrumental to our success. We are advised to have a change of mindset in order to move forward. It is never helpful to wallow in self-pity and stagnation. Remember, we are children of the universe. We have the power in us to free ourselves from our self-inflicted bond. We can focus on learning and using different skills so we can fulfill our full potential. This is most especially true in the fiercely competitive labor market due to the scarcity of job opportunities in contrast to the glut of human resources. Being multi-skilled, driven, reliable, and resilient would be advantageous to us. Otherwise, we risk being totally left out and utterly unable to catch up. When we snap out of inactivity or complacency, it will be a positive and rewarding journey. The universe is waking us up to fulfill our full potential and to use our precious gift of time wisely and productively. The Ace of Swords. The Little White Book describes the Ace of Swords as your mind is always active. Instead of allowing it to roam among random thoughts, take some time to direct your mental energy toward personal growth. The challenging sword of your will can be used for both good and evil purposes. Which will you choose? In addition, we are living in a world full of distractions that hinder our growth. The Ace of Swords signifies traveling the path that had been laid for us. We leave behind any doubts because we have the lessons of our experiences to guide us. We channel the good from those experiences to allow us to journey with purpose and intent. We know where we are heading, even if we cannot see the end of the road. We need to calm our minds and listen. We must call upon the gifts that we have forgotten of clarity, focus, and fortitude that came with our creation. We need to muster them and use them positively to perpetuate growth, be it emotional, intellectual, or spiritual. The Queen of Wands. The Little White Book describes the Queen of Wands as warm, affectionate, charming woman who is adaptable and has a calm authority and a determined manner. She needs to guard against outbursts of revenge. After any catastrophe, one has the power to rebuild, proving the renewing aspect of one's own willpower. In addition, the Queen represents a person driven by her passions. She could be intense, creative, and lives life to the fullest. She has wisdom from all the experiences she has. She constantly learns and strives to better herself. She also makes sure that her passion guides her like a beacon and uses it to achieve whatever it is that makes her love life. She's like a magnet. People are drawn to her contagious energy. She is loyal and would support those who need her help, provided that they also help themselves. She easily gets bored with people who seem to just drift in life. She sticks to her principles and has a tendency to even fight for this, to death. Because of her fire, she finds it a challenge to compromise. This queen could also represent a situation where one has found the courage to pursue his or her passion and live life the way he or she always wanted, in spite of all the responsibilities and obligations of everyday life. It is a huge burst of energy that spurred this courage. In our family and our community, we see people who are successful because they do what they love. For them, it is not work at all, but pure enjoyment coupled with discipline and perseverance. The elements of that steady fire that drives us to success. Our daily responsibilities usually bog us down. However, we also have a responsibility to take care of ourselves. No matter how tired we are or spent we feel, engaging and cultivating our interests could help us regenerate for another day. This is also a terrific way to distress. All work and no play will make all of us dull and eventually lifeless like a husk. In the meantime, if you find it hard to determine what your passion is, you must discover your soul's purpose. That would definitely guide you. The Page of Swords. The little white book describes the Page of Swords as, this card signifies a person who is lively and graceful, yet also cunning and vengeful. This person has abandoned the stability of a home in favor of the path through fire to illumination. There is an attitude of uncertainty and the possibility of return to past ways. Regain the soul's desire by completing the psychological tasks set by one's destiny. In addition, in many philosophies and beliefs, there are 4 classical elements that form part of everything in our world. They are fire, earth, air, and water. The sword represents the element of air. Air represents our mind, intellect, ideas, dreams, hopes, and imagination. The Page of Swords represents a youthful influence that will mature in time. When we draw the Page of Swords, we are reminded to be thankful of the gifts we have, such as the air we breathe that sustain life. Take away air and we perish in minutes. We need to be thankful of our minds and nurture it by pursuing knowledge and growing in wisdom. Take away our minds and we become nothing. So, we need to take care and protect our minds as we are prone to worries, negative thoughts, and nightmares. We must focus on the positive aspects of our imagination. We can draw energy from our visualizations and be inspired to create wonderful dreams. The Page of Swords also encourages us to find clarity by looking at things in the most practical and logical manner. We need to communicate with clarity to express what we truly think and feel. We're also reminded not to act on impulse and make decisions prematurely.
Hello, my name is Michelle. I'm a writer and a blogger, and if you're interested in writing, you should definitely check out my blog. It's www.thewritingnut.com. Some people might think that writing fantasy only requires creativity and imagination, but in order for a fantasy story to be really interesting and to captivate an audience, it must be partially based in reality, and that means a lot of research. Last May, I went to England to do some research for a fantasy novel that I've been writing. One of the sites I was most eager and very interested to see was Stonehenge. And I was drooling with excitement to see it because the megaliths played such a big role in the story I was writing. I took the Stonehenge special access tour with Shelley, who was featured in the PBS documentary as one of the experts on Stonehenge. Pat knew a lot about the history and the layout of the area surrounding Stonehenge, and he took us to Woodhenge, to Durrington Walls, where they had uncovered evidence of the Neolithic people living in the area, possibly the very people who built Stonehenge. While the tour was fantastic, the real magic happened when Pat introduced us to the concept of ley lines and dowsing. So Pat brought us to a specific place within the stone circle where he said that a ley line was located. He explained that ley lines were invisible lines of spiritual powers, usually marked by ancient monuments, henges, stone circles, mounds, churches, and so on. These lines of power could be discovered by a simple method known as dowsing. Dowsing is a type of divination used by different people in different ways. Some people use it to locate groundwater, others use it to find buried metals, gemstones, grave sites, and more importantly, ley lines. The most common dowsing or divining rod is a forked or Y-shaped branch from a tree or bush. Most dowsers prefer branches from certain trees such as hazel, willow, or peach. Another kind of dowsing rod is an L-shaped rod made of wire or glass. Pat used a simple L-shaped rod made from wire coat hangers. He held them loosely in his hand and walked forward. When he passed a certain spot between the two stones, which was directly in line with the heel stone, the two rods simultaneously moved and crossed each other. When he stepped back away from the spot, the rods uncrossed and moved to their original position. And just to prove that he wasn't messing with our minds, Pat made us try it for ourselves.
Oh, sure. When the other go, yeah. Sure you can.
That it?
That it?
Sure.
Nice to do so. To protect you with your hands, but nevertheless.
The experience was so mind-boggling that actually as soon as I got home I did some research on ley lines and dowsing. Ley lines were first discovered by Alfred Watkins in 1921. He was a businessman, a magistrate, a photographer, and an amateur inventor. And he was visiting a place called Blackwarden in Hereford when he noticed that his map lines actually crossed over or passed over specific hilltops and a number of places of interest. He came to the theory that there was a system of straight lines crossing the landscape that actually linked all of Earth's most important landmarks. He believed that this alignment wasn't due to mere chance, but that prehistoric man had made these tracks on purpose as a type of road network. And they used various landmarks like henges, mounds, curses, standing stones, and even water spots like, ponds, springs, wells, as markers. Ley lines are thought to be magnetic in nature and are said to be the same lines that birds, mammals, and insects, and even bacteria use, as they migrate across long distances. Several ancient man-made structures such as henges or churches were actually built on ley lines or at the place where these two ley lines intersect, and is said to be the place where there's great magnetism involved. These places are actually thought to be sacred places of power. There are many theories on the purpose of ley lines. Some say that these ley lines are spirit ways or death roads. There's evidence that actually funerary rites were involved at many of these important locations, such as Stonehenge. Many important ley line markers are also associated with springs and water structures. Other theories for the purpose of ley lines include astronomical alignments, geometry, and even religion. The Aborigines of Australia speak of taringas, which are important paths traveled by their creative gods as they traverse the country and reshape the land. Ley lines have been around since the time of prehistoric man. It's likely that prehistoric man, still unhindered by things like science and technology, had a very strong connection with the earth, and they had a very instinctive and intuitive feel for these invisible lines of power, these magnetic fields surrounding them. While magnetism and magnetic fields have been explained and can be explained by science, ley lines and a method of finding them known as dowsing is still a bit fuzzy. I have to say though, that after my experience or my dowsing experience in Stonehenge, I was slightly convinced of the existence of these ley lines. Mostly though, I was boggled at the phenomenon and I was just happy to have experienced something similar to magic. In order to experience life to the fullest, we must be open to the various possibilities and to the existence of the unknown and the unexplainable.
Have you ever felt, or have you always believed, that somewhere out there is this one person who is meant for you, and that in time, you two will meet and spend the rest of your life together? This is the simplest way we can relate to the innate knowing that our other half exists. The existence of our other half is apparent within us, manifested with our desire to always find the one to spend the rest of our life with. It is also an evident concept in different faiths, beliefs, and cultures that we are created as a pair, a twin, or a soul split in two. The splitting of this soul is essential to maximize the spiritual learning process. This is the best way to absorb volumes upon volumes of significant experiences needed to advance. By being separate, there is twice the capacity to learn in half the time it would normally take. Once spiritual enlightenment is achieved, the twin souls reunite, serve humanity, and rejoin the Creator. In Connections, we will be discussing how twin flames really affect each other, and the significance of the timing and the purpose of their meeting. We will also talk about experiences and try to address questions like, how is it possible that a twin flame is so cruel, or is trying to run away, or is trying to sabotage the relationship? But before we do that, let us explore a bit and start with something most of us are familiar with. Let's look at Adam and Eve. The Bible teaches us how God created Adam from the dust on the ground, breathed life into him, and later on created Eve from one of Adam's ribs. The Philippines has its folklore about the first man and woman. The story states that a mystical bird pecked a bamboo and split it open in half, freeing and revealing the first man, malakas, meaning strong, and the first woman, maganda, meaning beautiful. These stories reinforce the belief that we are from one source, possessing both male and female essences, also known as the yin and yang, or the positive and the negative. The twin attributes are intrinsic to us all. They stay connected to balance each other, to keep the harmony within us, and the unity with a higher power. When the source soul was split, each of the twin souls possesses both the male and female essences. However, in certain incarnations, either essence might be more dominant than the other, depending on the lessons that are needed to learn at a certain lifetime. When we say male and female essences, it is not confined between the opposite sex, but encompasses all in the physical form. Twin flames, after all, do not manifest exclusively between a man and a woman. Since we come from one source, we have the same composition as our twin soul. This keeps us connected with each other in all incarnations. Our twin will always remain within us. Some of our kindred spirits manifest this in the choice they make by going through life on their own. These kindred spirits truly appreciate their single blessedness. The term is actually profound because they have found contentment and completion within themselves. It shows their faith in knowing that their twin soul is always within them, albeit not physically. This does not mean that they do not suffer from yearning and loneliness at times. Of course they do. After all, they're just human, like us. However, it takes a very strong spirit to battle human urges, emotional longing, and decide to spend this lifetime learning and finding completeness within. These kindred spirits shows the best way to absorb life's lessons as much as they can with fewer distractions born of human frailties and want. Most of our blessed single kindred spirits are also immersed in heeding their calling, which is focused on being of service to others. They have truly found harmony within themselves. They have conquered our greatest fear of being alone and of needing someone else. They have a divine knowing that the more complete we feel within us, the more focused we become in fulfilling our soul's purpose, which in turn gets us closer to actually rejoining our twin soul or twin flame. When we are fortunate enough to meet our twin soul in the same incarnation, which is extremely rare by the way, it will not be perennially filled with drama and emotional turmoil. On the contrary, it will click as smoothly and harmoniously as possible, just the way it should be. There might be some issues to iron out, but in general, the meeting will be ideal in order to get down to the business of fulfilling the soul's mission, one that would really serve humanity and focus on assisting other souls to find unity within themselves and with a higher power. The light from a twin soul shines so brightly that through it, we will also be able to find our own way. In saying this, the intensity of each encounter with a karmic soulmate, which we normally mistake for a twin soul encounter, only reminds us how far or near we are to finding this completeness within ourselves. So it is inaccurate and unfair to associate relationships filled with strife, emotional upheavals, and want to be a manifestation of a twin soul encounter. Meeting a twin soul transcends human emotions. The meeting will not be bound by self-serving reasons, but will be highlighted by the need to serve others.
Hi Tarazam, I'm contacting you from Wellington, New Zealand. I'm currently on a journey in hope of finding love. My question is, within the next 6 to 12 months, how will my true love or soulmate present himself to me? Your help will be much appreciated. Thank you.
Hello Kay of Wellington, thanks for calling in your question. I've drawn the Three of Wands, Four of Cups, and the Wheel of Fortune for you. The Four of Cups, your center card, reflects how you may be feeling at the moment, bored and discontented. However, it also reminds you to appreciate what you have, like family, friends, your health, your freedom, your ability to pursue self-development, and your blessings and other talents. You must keep faith and strive to keep the communication line open with your higher self or whoever the center of your faith is through meditation and or prayer. In the meantime, you also need to overcome boredom and discontentment by pursuing other interests that would further personal growth and stability. By holding on to your dream and working towards self-improvement, you're actually empowering the energy that would draw this special person into your life. You need to prepare and make your energy as attractive and magnetic as you can, while visualizing this person heeding your energy and coming into your life. You are advised to take initiative in fulfilling your dreams. They will not happen if you only wait for them. You need to set the motion. However, sometimes things do happen on their own accord when the right time comes. You will know whether to take initiative or to wait by listening to your inner voice. The Three of Wands. The card on the left is the part where you need to pause and assess where you are in your life at the moment. See your achievements for what they are, and remember the lessons you have learned from all your experiences. You need to know how these lessons affect you. They serve as guides to making yourself better and stronger. You also need to discern what you're searching for and uncover your motivations in your pursuit of true love. Define what true love is to you. your ideal relationship so that you can also identify areas that might require compromise. Be able to gauge your limitations and the extent of sacrifices you're willing to give for true love. Remember, nothing and no one is perfect. They're only perfected through wholehearted acceptance of both the good and the faults. Inasmuch as true love seems romantic and fairy tale-like, the reality of the challenges you must face and overcome is what makes it so. You may find this a tough mental and emotional exercise, but one that you might need to do in order to assess your readiness. The Wheel of Fortune. The card on the right advises you what you need to do. If you want true love to present itself to you in the next 6 to 12 months, then you need to embrace change starting now. There must be active and positive movements in your life and keep that pace rolling. You have to be in that rhythm to invite true love. You will need a makeover of your habits, beliefs, perceptions, the way you do things, momentum, career, and environment. In other words, change must be a constant in your life. These changes will fuel the energy needed to attract true love. This energy will also serve as a beacon so true love can find its way into your life. And when true love comes, it will come when you least expect it. I hope this helps you, Kay, and I wish you all the best. In this episode, we're going to talk about the Revelations Tarot, created by Zach Wong and published by Llewellyn Worldwide in May of 2005. For more information about the deck and the author, please visit www.llewellyn.com. Now let me share with you what I think about the Revelations Tarot. The Revelations Tarot is uniquely designed as having both the upright and reversed image. It comes with a full 258-page companion book that clearly describes the meaning of each card. It is very easy to read and understand. The reader will be easily guided with the interpretation of each card for both the upright and reversed images. The deck is rich and quite artistic. It offers to stimulate the reading for deeper meanings. The colors are vibrant and the artwork is amazing. It radiates a different feel to them that softens some of the images that people are afraid of, such as the Death card. The Revelations Tarot is visually thought-provoking as it draws out impressions and feelings that can heighten our intuition and would be ideal for those who want more from the imagery of a tarot deck. Personally, I like the Revelations Tarot very much. I have been using it for my Tarot card of the day guidance. The companion book gives a basic but solid meaning to each card, clearly inspired by the Rider-Smith deck. This makes it easier for anyone, even to those who are not familiar with the tarot, to apply the meanings to their own situation. The Revelations deck works with me and my clients in a very matter-of-factly way. Some other decks are quite polite and diplomatic in the way they answer questions. But the Revelations Tarot is always straight to the point. It tells the queried what he or she needs to know without sugarcoating the message. I also notice that when I offer 3 different decks for my clients to work with, there are 3 out of 5 chances that they will be drawn to the Revelations Tarot. Last but not the least, the paper quality of the card is fantastic, coated and sturdy. I've been using it for some time now, over a year, and it's still quite firm and really great to handle. I shuffle my cards quite brutally by way of the riffle shuffle. So for this deck to still be in very good nick, it's pretty impressive. I highly recommend the Revelations Tarot for everybody. It has a very good companion book that explains both upright and reversed meaning of each card, and for those who would like to explore new thoughts, the deck fits as a great tool for this purpose. We need some open-minded approach towards this deck so we can really appreciate the depth its unique imagery offers.
Hello, Zam. I'm from Kuwait, and my question is, what is my purpose? Thank you very much.
Hello, SB of Kuwait, and thanks for sending in your question. I've drawn the Page of Swords, Page of Pentacles, and the Wheel of Fortune for you. The Page of Pentacles, your center card, signifies that it is your purpose to embrace life as your teacher. Your purpose is to learn continuously. You're called to learn as much as you can, not just to learn and keep the knowledge to yourself, but to actually share them with the people you cross paths with. As you motivate yourself to learn, so will you motivate others. You will prod them to learn alongside you and to learn on their own. You could look into any path or branch of learning that will result in practical and stable solutions to many concerns of our daily life. A spiritual form of learning which can be applied to the benefit and development of the physical body and environment is another area to explore. In order to pursue this purpose, you need to set clear goals and achieve them steadily but surely. All these solid achievements are needed to give you credibility to fulfill your purpose of guiding, motivating, teaching, and even learning from others by practicing what you preach and leading through example. The Page of Swords, the card on the left, complements the Page of Pentacles, wherein your purpose in life also involves the pursuit of truth and clarity. Since the energy of the page is not mature enough, you are reminded to never pursue clarity and the truth on a whim, on impulse, or for self-serving reasons. You are encouraged to speak your mind at all times and remain honest without being cold and insensitive. Your purpose is to help the causes you believe in by lending them your gift of wit, focus, intelligence, and practicality. In order to fulfill your purpose, you need to find practical and effective ways to further develop your mind power, and mind control. This is also a great way for you to learn and teach others. The Wheel of Fortune. The card on the right reminds you of your essence, that you are the messenger of change as change abounds in your life. You need to embrace it, work with it, in order to encourage others to change for the best. You will bring about positive changes to the people you meet using the knowledge you have acquired and the clarity you possess. The Wheel of Fortune also signifies that you have so many other pursuits in life to accomplish, including your purpose of standing for your convictions and leading through example. The three cards shows your purpose is to continuously learn in order to teach and guide people, to bring about positive changes in their lives. You are the spark that will help people find their way. You need to pursue your soul's purpose. When you resist the path that is presented to you, your life becomes more challenging with more problems to solve. These problems arise to stop you from proceeding and to take the much needed time to reassess your decisions and circumstances. This is how the universe speaks to you and encourages you to go back to the right path. When you heed and pursue your purpose, you will also see things fall into place with ease. Peace and success will also abound. The influences of the two pages in your life, though young and immature, really complement and balance each other. One being as stable as the earth, and the other being so spontaneous and swift like the wind. With the influence of the Wheel of Fortune, the two pages will mature and help you realize your purpose effectively. I hope this helped you, and I wish you all the best. For our next episode, we're going to continue with our tarot lessons, free readings, and our current topic in connections, which is twin flame and soulmates. I will also take you to the enchanted redwoods of the Whakarewarewa forest in Rotorua, New Zealand. For your free readings, please send in your question in MP3 form, no longer than 30 seconds. Please be aware that due to the volume of emails I receive, I might not be able to guide everyone all at one time. As you may have noticed, I try to make my readings as comprehensive as I can. In Enchanted World, if you have any experience that is eerie, mystical, extraordinary, spooky, or have been witness to an inexplicable phenomenon, please email your story. I encourage you to do so. Share them with us. If you have just bought a tarot deck or read a tarot book, We would like to know what you think about it. And if you do have some questions or would like to share your twin flame and soulmate experiences, we would be delighted to hear from you. All your submissions are most welcome, including suggestions and comments. Email us at mystical.junction@gmail.com. That's it for now. Thank you once again for joining us here at the Mystical Junction. I'll see you next time. Many blessings to you. This is Tarot Zam.